Okay, I was discussing about the understanding capacity of language of the law. I have said that what was the reason why the definition of domestic violence has given separate as a separate chapter under the separate section. What was the reason? Because of the requirement of comprehensive provision, and because of the main focus on the domestic violence. There are other reasons also. And whenever the intention of legislature requires to be interpreted or applied in a particular word or the issue at that time, the techniques of the searching, the intention of legislature is also there as a subject matter of interpretation. Now come into that part where there is a definition clause of the domestic violence. And this clause is divided into many parts. And normally, if you will see, there are three common words which are called the elements of domestic violence. These words are the physical violence, mental violence, and the economic violence. And whenever a person is talking about the physical violence, if the physical violence shall be related to the hurt, grievous hurt, and defamation, insult, and so on, for that purpose, there is the Indian Penal Code. What was the need of this separate legislation? To incorporate the word physical violence, and it had given the basically the meaning of this physical violence. It includes so many things which are already defined under the criminal law, but a special definition, it says that whenever there is any kind of pain, the word is the pain, in the body of the aggrieved party, any kind of pain, it will amount to the physical violence, pain. And if you will see, the words are there that which says that by the action of the respondent of the omission, commission, and conduct. Three words are there: omission, commission, and the conduct. The omission word is written also Indian Penal Code, if you will see, omission of duty, where the act is defined, section 33, you can see. But the conduct is a new word which is written under section 3 of the protection of women against the domestic violence. Omission is also there. Commission is there. Omission, if the person had the duty, legal duty, and he is not performing, respondent is not performing the legal duty, that will be called the omission, not only commission. And the conduct is against the physical pain of the aggrieved person. This will also amount to the basically of the domestic violence. These words are written under section 3 and you are competent enough to go through these words. But at the same time, your duty is try to understand why these words are written here, so that by single time study of particular provision of legislation, you will be competent to understand the real spirit of the law. Then, of course, that physical pain includes the injury. Injury and hurt is also the subject matter of criminal law. Harm, any kind of harm, and that harm includes the unsafe position of the aggrieved party within the four corner of the domestic house. And the verbal insult, it amounts under the mental violence. Verbal insult which affects the mental status of the aggrieved party. Any kind of humiliation and a bad treatment and other words are also the subject matter of the mental violence. Economic violence. If a female have the own resource of income and the male and other members of the family, including the relatives of the husband, are going to stop or creating such type of situation in the family not to earn the money, this will come under the economic violence. if the name of the female is there any property, any member of the family is threatening to the female to transfer that property in the name of another person, it will come under the domestic violence. Even if the personal resources or the keeping of money place is there in the possession of the woman in the house, that is searching by another person of the family, that will amount to the economic abuse or economic violence. Therefore, there are various aspects of the domestic violence. Either it may be in the form of physical, mental, and economic. And these words are also explained by the legislature, so that for the application of this law, there should not be any kind of the problem to the administrative officers and protection officer, service provider, counselor, and competent court, that is the code of the magistrate first class. And apart from this definition, in these two sections, section 2 and section 3, in the beginning, there were the cases before the court for the application and interpretation of this law. And one of the area was the meaning of living together in the same house or shelter. There are the words, if you will see section 2F, which is written in between the words or, whether they are living together or they have the cohabitance. The words in between the words written the or, but in beginning, court has interpreted these words that if there is no marriage in between the male and female, but are living together, it may be a temporary period, and the female is entitled to get the relief under this law. And the first case in 2010, the Madras High Court decided that only living relation are sufficient to apply this law. But later on, the Supreme Court has laid down certain guidelines when this law will apply in matters of the persons, male and female, are living together, but they have not in the capacity of marriage. And in the beginning, with the application of this law, A leading case, of course, Indra Sharma case is also there after Madras High Court Lakshmi's case, but a leading case of 21st October 2010 for the application of this law is D. Balu Swami versus Pachayyamal. D. Balu Swami versus Pachayyamal case of 21st October 2010, where the Supreme Court of India laid down certain guidelines for the application of this law in the matters of the living relationship in between the two parties. Court said that categorically it has said that for the application of section 2A and 2F, there are the 5 elements. Court said that there are the 5 elements, and these 5 elements should be fulfilled by the parties for getting the benefit of this legislation. And the point number 1 is that both the parties must behave as a husband and wife. D. Balu Swami case, Supreme Court laid down the guidelines for the application of this act in context of the living relationship in between two. The first one is both the parties, respondent and the complainant, must have as the relationship of husband and wife, and they were recognized by the society as husband and wife. As you might be learn or seen section 50 of law of evidence. There is the recognition in the society that both are husband and wife living together for the application of this law. Point number 2 says that they must be of valid legal age of marriage. It means they should be competent according to the age to enter into the marriage. Third point, which the court said that they should be qualified to enter into the marriage. Second says that the age, third says the qualified. We will interpret these 2 words just after the over of these 5 points. The fourth says that they must be cohabitate. They must be cohabitate. And point number 5th says that they must have lived together in the shareholder house. There are 5 points. In these 5 points, nowhere it is laid down by the court there should be the valid marriage. It is not written. But it is written that, or it has observed by the Supreme Court that there should be the age, competent age of both the parties, not less than the 18 and 21 respectively, female and male. And secondly, they should have the qualifying quality of entering into the marriage. Second one. What is the meaning of second? First is category, the second point is category. First one is the recognition of the society, husband and wife, but there is no marriage. Society should recognize that yes, they are the husband and wife. They have not seen the marriage of both. Second, competent age as per the law. Third, entitled for the valid marriage, only entitled. It means they should fulfill all the legal requirement that either one party should be the unmarried or party should be the widow or widower. There should not be the another husband and wife as per the law, respective laws, because this piece of legislation is applicable on all, not only a particular caste and religion. It is for all citizens of India according to their personal laws. They should be the qualified, and they must be cohabitate, means they must be live together as husband and wife as recognized by the society. Marriage world is not written. Very interesting leading case, the Baluswamy case of 2010, because there was a controversy. Living relationship was for the temporary period. It may be the one night, just like the Muta marriage, and they were claiming. Therefore, finally, the guidelines, and not only this, the point number 5 says that they must have to live in the same house. Same house. Relationship may be there of husband and wife. They may be qualified to enter into the valid marriage, and they have the age, but they are not living together. Law will not apply in such situation for getting the relief if there will be the violation of section 3 and there will be the domestic violence, and this will not be accepted as the application of this law. Then there was another issue that for the maintenance, getting the maintenance, there is the one common law and another laws are the personal laws. Common law is under the Criminal Procedure Code. From section 125 to 128, this is the substantive law as well as the procedure, because the procedure is laid down also in these sections. This is a common law applicable on all citizens of India in respect of any caste, religion, and so on. But a case came if a person is not entitled to get any relief under the maintenance clause under this law, that is the 125 of the CRPC, whether the C can claim under this protection of women against the domestic violence law. That was the case, or that was the issue. Because under 125 there are the words wife, children, and parents. And who will be the wife? There is no marriage. She will not called be the wife, but they are living together. Society is recognizing her as a wife of the respondent. But the definition of wife is totally different for the application of 125. getting maintenance under the personal laws. But here a case decided by the Supreme Court, if any complainant fulfills the 5 points as laid down by Honorable Supreme Court in the D. Balu Swami case, but she is not called the wife, status, have no marriage, 125 demands the fulfillment of marriage. Of course, there are also the cases under 125 for the purpose of the person living with the male, new development of the approach of court. But categorically, in a case of Lalita Topo, you can get these cases available in the website of the 2018, 30th October 2018. The court has laid down the principle that if the one will not get any relief under 125 of the CRPC, even if she is entitled to get the relief under the provisions of the domestic violence against the woman law as a protection, because it provides the maintenance, the remedy is providing the shelter, providing the compensation, and remedy is the treatment, and it is a, of course, a unique kind of legislation. Every relief one can get from the respondent. Therefore, in this Lalita case, court has laid down the rule in 2018 that if the relief is not available under any other law, but the complainant fulfills all the requirement laid down by the Supreme Court in 2010 D. Baluswamy case, she is entitled to get the relief. That is the law. The another aspect of the law relating to the time when the aggrieved party can file the complaint. Of course, the second part, because it is a very interesting law, I will deliver tomorrow. Protection officer and service provider duties, counselors and welfare expert, then duty of the court, duty of the government. These components shall be discussed tomorrow. But today, one of the very controversial subject matter relating to the time. When or how much time has been given by the legislature to file the complaint from the date of the domestic violence, from the date of occurring of domestic violence. Interestingly, you will surprised to know that in every law, there is a time limit for filing the complaint or the case. But in this piece of legislation, there is no time limit. Then please think over it. Section 12 provides to file the complaint by the protection officer. This is the mechanism, mediator in between the aggrieved party and the police or the magistrate, court, but there is no time limit. Think over it. What's the reason? Why there is no provision for the time bar? Because law helps those who are intelligent, not negligent. There is a common concept. But in this case, there is no time limit. The question which I have placed before you people, that why this is there in this law. Just I am trying to explain why this provision is there, that the time limit for filing the complaint is not given by the legislature. The first reason is that it is a matter of domestic violence. It means that domestic violence doesn't mean only one time the mental pain or physical pain, even if the economic pain shall be given by the respondent. The answer is no. The problem and the issue and dispute is within the four corner of the house. And once the habit shall develop of any individual or any member of the family, including the relatives of the husband, then it shall be continue. Then how one can say that the violence committed 2 years before? It will not stop, because there is a nature and a habit and behavior of the human being, and these may be the minor habits of the member of the family. And legislature thought that there should not be any time for filing the complaint. But whereas in another side, if we will see that to dispose of the cases and to issue the notices, there is a provision under the rules. There are 17 rules. One rule have various clauses, that within the 3 days after receiving the complaint by the magistrate through the protection officer or service provider, the notice shall be issued to the respondent within 3 days. And secondly, dispose of the case. There is time limit. Within the 6 months, the matter shall be disposed of by the court within the 6 months. The appellate forum is also there under section 29, because this is very interesting law, and practically it is not being implemented so far in its full spirit. Sexual harassment at workplace 2013, this is in full swing, because there is no relationship in between the male and female. They are in workplace. Either they may be the subordinate or the superior, or a person who have the power to command over the subordinate. There are the cases. But domestic violence cases are very limited. And the duty is also given to the state periodically to disseminate the information among the public through the radio and television, newspaper, so on. But this is not in full, it's a split. Therefore, the point which I have raised, that dispose of limit is there, issue the notices, limit is there. For filing the appeal, 29 says that within the 30 days, the appeal should be filed before the session court. And in Trilochan Singh versus Manpreet Kaur case, 2019 case. The name of the case is Trilochan Singh versus Manpreet Kaur case. 2nd August 2019 case. Allahabad High Court said that even if there is no time limit for filing the complaint under section 12 of the act, this should be considered by the constitution bench of the court, and matter is referred to the chief justice to constitute the committee, to constitute the another bench. It means this is lacuna, but the reason behind it, as you have seen, that continuous offense, no time, no limit, no evidence, even if evidence may not be there. Thus, the protection officer appointed by the state government is provided there. Of course, the qualification and so on, the aspect relating to this one is one of the issue. As I have said that the point relating to the aspect of the principles applied in the matters of the system upheld by the court again on 25th July 2018, which was laid down in the case of the Baluswamy case, D. Baluswamy case, 2010. It was again upheld, the 5 points, in a case of Rasma Begum versus State of Maharashtra.